Today we're going to do a digital paint with me while I tell you a little bit about myself. So I guess let's get the basics out of the way. My name is Kelly. I'm a 32-year-old chronically ill artist and aspiring author. I'm also a full-time teacher for art and theater in my local middle school. My hope for this channel is to build a community of people who are interested in art and writing, so the majority of what I chose to share today is based on that. My favorite way to spend a day is through a mix of chores, creative activities, and relaxing by playing video games, reading, or watching TV. Bonus points if I get to spend time with my friends. Art and writing have always been a part of my life. I remember my mom sitting down to color with us when we were really little. She would keep pictures we drew taped to the wall next to her bed. Even with that encouragement, it was not something I felt like I was very good at early on. When I started school, teachers favored the pictures and crafts of other little girls who were much neater than I was. That created this idea in my head that I wasn't good at art, but I knew I wanted to be. Writing is a slightly different story. I've always been in love with telling stories as well as reading them. In school, I always scored well on writing and was complimented on my creative ideas. I've always been a daydreamer, so I've never really run out of things to put on the page. By the time I got to high school, I was beginning to write in terms of chapters, even though I wasn't really sure they were going anywhere. I'm a very visual thinker, but sometimes my thoughts can look a little hazy. I wanted to bring my ideas to life, not just with words, but with art. I decided I was going to learn to draw, and I did, and I've never really stopped. This channel has come from both desire and necessity. I don't know if all creatives feel this way, but I have this undeniable desire to share the things I create. As an aspiring author, I also need to build a community of people to follow my work. So overall, what I think inspired me is a desire for a creative community. I desire a community to interact with. I want to share my work, and I want to see yours as well. My favorite mediums fluctuate. I am completely self-taught, so I've dabbled in all kinds of things. I started out in oil painting, then moved to watercolor, then oil pastel, and now digital art. You can expect to see all of that and more on the channel. My proudest creative achievement has been finishing the rough draft of my first book. I wrote 50,000 words for NaNoWriMo in 2019, then 30,000 more words that following December. I've been editing and rewriting ever since, and I am finally getting close to something I feel confident about publishing. I take a lot of inspiration from the world around me, as well as the stories and worlds of other creatives. For example, I started a new writing project over the last couple of years that was originally inspired by Sarah J. Maas and her ACOTAR series. Halfway through the third book, I stopped reading and started writing. I'd been toying with a setting and character idea for a while, but didn't have all the pieces I needed to really start something. ACOTAR gave me the courage to play with writing Faye into the new world I'd been thinking of. So I sat down with the bare bones of this character and started writing her story. Bit by bit, my world began to take shape, and now I feel like I have something unique that started with the love of another author's work. I don't have a favorite book, but I'm currently reading the Glacian trilogy by Stacy McKeon, and I'm really enjoying it. Anything fantasy is a go-to for me. My favorite movie is The Princess Bride. I love the funny one-liners mixed with the love story. My favorite place to work is unfortunately on my couch, preferably under 2 blankets and 3 cats with a 4th perched nearby. I do, however, have plans to start expanding the work area in my office so I have room for all the things I'm working on. I hope you've enjoyed the speed paint and were able to learn a little bit more about me. If we have something in common, make sure to leave a comment to let me know, and please consider subscribing.